Hey, we're going to Jamestown! Woohoo! Let's go, everybody! It is time to start Random Travels. Glad you're here to watch Random Travels. Get your popcorn for Random Travels. Start the always entertaining. Start the awesome and amazing show! As we arrive at the Jamestown Settlement, you'll notice a fountain with 3 masts and sails on them. In my opinion, this represents taking a bath with a sailboat. And this right here is where we enter to take our tour. So let's get cracking! This concrete block here is signifying that Jamestown was established in 1607. This was just 7 years after the end of the Renaissance age. It's really windy out here. Hang on, everybody! Don't get blown away! The bridge is really swaying back and forth, to and fro. Hang on! Don't fall off! The winds are dying down now. Looks like that freaky storm is over. Let's move on to the Indian village. Hey, these don't look like teepees. They look like little spaceships. Is this really what the Indians lived in? Don't mention it to them, but this guy doesn't look like any Indian I've ever seen.
Got sort of a garden here?
It is a garden.
What does it grow?
Corn, beans, squash.
The Bigfoot tribe comes out here and does a meetup with the Powhatans, and they party like it's $15.99.
What about the gourds up there? What are those for?
Birdhouses.
Those birdhouses.
He's not fooling me. I know that those are little spaceships. Hey, it's a limbo game for short people. I guess this is what we'd count as an attic in an Indian house. Kinda cool to just stick stuff wherever you want to put it. Check out these blankies made from animal skins. I bet they can make a great big comforter from a woolly mammoth. Is this where they keep the hats? Hey, this looks like the Indian version of Spin the Bottle. How would you guys like some bubblegum or beef jerky? The next time I come back, I'll bring you some, okay? Just don't blow darts at me. Oh look, it's Esmeralda. I see she's got her lawyer with her. They seem to be talking to a guy who has a big rock. And also, he needs a shirt really badly.
If you have any questions, please ask away.
What are you doing?
Making a bone fishing hook.
A bone fishing hook.
So what we're going to end up having is something like this over here, at least similar in essence. So you can see how I'm going to get that out of there is in that way that you see. So the idea being that we're going to be grinding down the inside there against the sandy mixture I have here on top of the sanding stone, so that gets rid of the majority of that stuff that I don't need, and then I can come through and just easily carve out the shape I need for the hook itself. And so the Powhatan, before Europeans are really coming here and really doing heavy trading, this is how they're making their fishing hooks. And we're talking about, Powhatan who are fishing with hooks, lines, nets, spears, arrows, lassos, hand lines, trot lines, all sorts of different ways of making those objects for fishing. Because in the spring, over half the food you rely on is not able to be harvested yet. That's coming out of the farm fields. And most of what you're hunting, the big game, is not yet big enough to really hunt on a widespread scale. So unfortunately, that means that you're having the least amount of food. Fish is one of the only real ways you're going to get lots of meat in the spring, until once you get to late spring, early summer, then you start seeing waterfowl coming back into the region. You're still relying a lot on that fish.
Does that guy even know he has chocolate all over his mouth? Looks like Esmeralda's lawyer showing how to mash potatoes the old-fashioned way. It's crowded in here. I'm gonna go get my own house. I can see it all now. I'm coming back from a hunt with the boys. Grabbed some beef jerky hanging from the ceiling. Plopped down on my bed. And then later on, maybe wrestle a bear or arm wrestle Big Squatch. What a life. Let's see now. Here's a grill for cooking out. Over here's where you would park your car. Back over yonder is a boat. To the right of that, it looks like an animal skin stretched out. Just look at those hoops, would you? Either this was used for playing games or they hung really short people. Behold! A basket of feathers! I suppose that the feathers are for throwing through the hoop-de-doops. Unusual happenings are happening today. Oh, it's not easy to walk in this stuff. I think I'm gonna be sick. Oh, I think it stopped. Between the windstorms and the earthquakes, this has been one scary day. I hope the rest of my time here will be peaceful. I'm a-comin', Bodie. I'll get there eventually. Up, up, up the ramp I go. I'm still going up the ramp. Can't wait till I get done.
We also don't even have official captain's logs. Now, that could be just that paper does not do too hot and survive in 400 years, and London's going to burn down multiple times.
Come on, Esmeralda's lawyer. You can make it. At least I think you can. But really, I don't know you so well, so maybe you can't. But come on, try.
And they actually have a closed today because the sailing crew is getting her ready for her voyage on Tuesday. She'll be sailing out to Norfolk for Harbor Fest for over a week. Discovery is, it's hard to see Discovery because we have the pier construction going on, but she's right over there. She also looks a little derpy right now because she's missing all her spars and sails and rigging, which this one is too, but this one at least has size and design to make her look a little more interesting. Discovery looks really like derpy right now. I like that word.
Hey fella, that's a pretty cool beard. You look really tough. But how come you have a giant pin through your body?
51 men on board for the voyage. Yeah, it's about 54 squish passengers down below and 17 sailors. Your crew in the bow, officers and captain are in the stern. Feel free to look around, guys. You want to take a million photos? Please take as many photos as you like. Just be mindful, it is a ship, so we do have a lot of steep ladders and low overheads.
Alright, so we are going to head down these steps first and make sure that they're getting down these steps.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? Good. You're going to be going down.
There's a bunch of school kids down here. You know what that means. Everything's gonna get sticky. You know, it looks like they've got room for a bowling alley down here. And how about a pool table? And some dartboards. I mean, they could have really turned this boat into a nice man cave down here. Then the voyages would have been super fun.
So guys, is this somewhere you want to be for 144 days?
Hello down there. Hello down there. Hello down there.
They're not sailors, they don't know how to sail the ship. And what happens if a bunch of guys who don't know how to sail the ship are running around up top with the actual sailors? Kind of space. But 144 men are traveling on these three ships, the Susan, Constance, the Godspeed, and the Discovery. and they're taking a 144-day voyage from England all the way over to Virginia. And the passengers have to stay down here while the sailors have a 4-hour work shift. They then get a 4-hour break, followed by another 4-hour work shift, repeated.
Up, up, up the stairs I go.
So let's be just as careful heading up the steps as we were going down them.
Pardon me, lady, but how many people does it take to crew a boat this size?
About 17. So that's about 8 on, 8 off, rotating every 4 hours with the captain on call.
Gosh, lady, you just know everything.
Not how hard it is to tie, or the amount of work we can make if we're supposed to be on time or not. It's whether or not. Okay, let's see. Grab a hold of that. You come push that away. Is whether or not I am on time.
Well, I didn't know Santa was gonna be here, and naturally he's surrounded by kids. Well, it looks like I'd better head towards the fort, since I don't see any place else around here. I hope they don't shoot me when they see the whites of my eyes. It's probably a good thing I'm wearing sunglasses. Hello, are you the sentry? You're the guy guarding this place, right? Hey, do I need a passport to come in here? If I don't, just don't say anything. Okay, thanks, buddy. Here come Esmeralda and the lawyer. Dun do 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 da do 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 da do 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 do. So how about it? You think you might get into some 1600s real estate?
Maybe. What do you think?
You gotta admit, it's nice and cozy in here. This would make a nice home for a Sasquatch. Yep, sure would. Gonna head out now. Have fun, you two.
Yeah, go play with your Sasquatch, you weirdo.
If I see him, I will. Hey, buddy, can you lock them up in jail? They stole my dignity and I want them locked up. I wonder if this house is for sale. And besides that, I wonder if a big bad wolf could blow it down. I think that would be a good negotiating point. Well, there's somebody's armor. And there be some shoes. So somebody must be living here. So I better get out of here before he shoots me full of holes.
Captain Hogs. The first thing the Cowicans do, the problem with that food, is go over there and slay the hogs and leave them to rot. And so now the English are without food in the winter of 1609. And they would find themselves trapped within the walls of Jamesport for a 4-month period in 1609 that becomes known as the starving time. And they would resort to eating anything that's going to sustain life and resorting to the point of survival cannibalism to stay alive. And we've got fresh, good salted butter that's soft. And one of the big perks of working here, you know what's coming. We get to eat everything we make. Yeah. In 11, Sir Thomas Gates would return to Virginia with over 100 head of livestock. So technically, in this time period, you should see some horses around Jamestown. But they're using these horses to pull stumps and to grind up fields for planting. And what are they planting lots of? Corn. And soon, the tobacco craze is on.
Yeah, I take a day off and the spiders all move in because it's a nice big open space with lots of places to sling webs, and then I come back to work and start making a bunch of smoke and heat, and they all start falling out of the Just ring of the spiders. That's it. Making a big escort. The tripod over there in the middle, sitting on the ground nearby, a great big copper kettle, which is our laundry kettle. And it hangs from a rather substantial S-hook there, so that you can go high enough up off the ground so you can go fire under it so you can get the water hot to do proper laundry. And that hook is just a too hot. Just quite enough space under the kettle to do good fire.
This is going to be a handle for a garden hoe. Work in the garden. There's the head right there on the bench, right here in the corner. Kind of hard to dig in the dirt without a handle on it. So right now, this part of the handle's too thick.
I wonder if you two are even paying any attention. Well, I know Esmeralda isn't. She's always picking on her phone.
Here comes a gunshot.
Ooh, they got me!
Never gets old, does it?
Never does old. That's what I was doing yesterday.
Oh, you was shooting it
Yesterday
off?
I was a carpenter on guard duty. Today I'm a carpenter. Tomorrow I should be a carpenter. But it's my day off, I ain't coming in.
Would you come in if Santa Claus was here? I mean, how could you not?
So those men took turns on guard duty. Not every man here had military experience. They're all going to get it. By 1610, that's only 3 years after they get here, this English business is at war with the Native Americans. This is not nation against nation, like World Wars I and II. Vietnam, Korea before that. It's not Catholic against Protestant. It's an English business against the Powhatan's Confederation, the tribes. And these Englishmen are badly outnumbered. They have technology on their side. We have those things that go bang. Native Americans bring a bow and arrow to a gunfight.
But still, they pick off the colony.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They can. They can.
Sort of a modern or old-timey guerrilla war. You liken it to
Cover, concealment, and ambush.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the only people here that, in the very beginning, that had the military experience are the upper class gentlemen.
Yeah.
They brought their own arms and armor, and most of them, they've got custom fitted armor. But they come from rich families. But the reason they're here, because they're not going to get rich. In their family, they're the second, third, or fourth son. They don't inherit anything. Everything went to the first son. They're here to make something for themselves. For the rest of the men that came over, the craftsmen, tradesmen, it's a job.
So this is the matchlock musket. This is a smaller caliber one, which is why I can hold it like this. It weighs about 10 pounds. The biggest ones weigh about 24. And this is your dominant firearm on the European battlefield. It's not the dominant weapon. Those pikes in there, 18-foot on average spears. They get bigger than that. That's their main weapon. It's going to be used in tight mass formations with lots and lots of men. And this is going to be a support arm. You're going to have your musketeers off to the sides of the pike square, and they're going to shoot at the other pike square as they march in. Try to soften them up, weaken them, break their morale so that your pike square wins. That's the whole purpose of the musketeer. They are a peasant, drafty. One day they're a farmer, the next day they're a soldier. They don't have any say in it. And they get about 2 weeks training on it. By the end of that, he is expected to fire this twice in 1 minute, be able to fire in a rank and file system, and be able to hit a man-sized target consistently at about 100 yards. And it's longer than from here to the back wall there. But that's okay, because beyond 100 yards, you're not real interested. Beyond 100 yards, the marksman is probably not going to be able to hit anyway. So the accuracy beyond that is not that critical. Now, when the English come here, they do not find that European style of warfare. They find the Powhatans fight with firepower, mobility, and cover. Same as the Irish do. Fortunately for the English, they've been trying to colonize Ireland for about 100 years, so they're very used to seeing this kind of tactic. In the written records all the time, we see them talk about how they fight like the Irish and how the Irish fight like the Powhatans and things like that. So the English adapt. They have firepower. This is going to do much more damage than any bow ever built, but it has a slow rate of fire, 2 times a minute compared to the Powhatan's 10 to 12. That rank and file thing I was talking about is how you compensate for that. You got 3 lines of men, those are your files, and you got 5 to 6 ranks deep. And here in Virginia, they arm big men with targeteers, armored up, men who trained from childhood how to use a sword. They're going to form a shield wall out in front, and musketeers are going to come up, and they're going to shoot right over top of them. And then they're going to fall back and reload. Second rank's going to come up, and they're going to shoot right over top of those targeteers. They're going to fall back and reload, and so on. By the time the 5th and 6th ranks have done, first rank's done reloading. They're going to shoot again. Now, through teamwork, you're matching the rate of fire. The Virginia company armors their musketeers. This doesn't happen in Europe. I mean, it's a cheap soldier. You're not going to give him armor. Here, you have to have the armor. It's important because of the way the Powhatans fight. You've got to have that cover. So now you've got your cover with you. And unique amongst all European powers, here in Virginia, the musketeers are armored. So I'm going to walk you through how this is done in the 17th century. You start out with your priming flask, and you pour powder into the priming pan. You close the cover and blow that off, any excess powder. Cast the weapon about, and each one of these bottles is called a charger. And pop the lid off of one, and you just pour the entire thing right down. That is one pre-measured shot. Then you spit a musket ball into your hand, throw it down the barrel. You keep them in your cheek for 2 reasons. One, it's a lot easier to get at than fumbling with this bullet bag. And 2, it helps to lubricate the tight-fitting musket ball. It goes down the barrel easier. Then you take your scouring stick. It's not called a ramrod yet. You ram the whole thing home. And then you bring it back up. Like that, so it doesn't burn your fingers. And then every shot, blow that into a coal, mount it in the serpentine, and then you check to make sure it's going to land in the pan, because if you miss the pan, it doesn't go off. And I have had that happen more than once. Then, when you're ready, you get up to fire, the sergeant is going to give the orders. Present your piece, and get a fire. And you're going to pull on this sear bar, or if you've got one of the newer models, a trigger, and that's going to put fire into the gunpowder, which is going to set the whole thing off. And I want to load it live this time, or live-ish. Still no lead bullet.
Oh, so what is that? Is that gunpowder?
Hmm?
So you never really did it in the
Yeah, that time, no. But the process is the same. You still have to prime it. Blow off the pan. Rest it about.
How long is that the fire rod going to last?
That burns at about 1 foot an hour. And you start out with about a 6-foot piece, so it's going to last a good long while. Now imagine if you got 5,000 musketeers in the field. If they're using these for an hour, they're going through a mile of rope an hour. A mile of slow match. Alright. Now, if you don't mind loud noises, we'll see if I can shoot this.
Present your piece. Give fire.
I think I missed. We'll give that a second too. What you want to do?
Great Godzilla!
Was that supposed to happen?
That's called a hang fire. And that's one of the problems you get if you misalign something.
For his daughter, Cape Cod, obviously, for the prevalence of the fish, and Elizabeth Isles, either for his wife or the Queen. Probably varied as to who he was talking to at the time. Yes, Your Majesty, I named them for you. No, darling, really, I named them for you.
In 1577 to 1580, circumnavigated the globe. Right. Now it's about, what, a little more than 50 years after Magellan's. And really, poor Magellan, he died in the Philippines, but that expedition that circumnavigated the globe that he gets the credit for. There's a lot that's happening.
Drake's the first one who does it on purpose, knowing where
No,
he's
he
going.
could not do it on purpose, because they had just taken Spanish ships off of Panama, and they could not go back down around South America.
Oh, that's right.
Alaska, and then came.
Well, that was just it. He circumnavigated the globe on purpose.
Yes.
It wasn't a just sailing off into the wild blue yonder hoping. It was, we know it can be done, so now we're going to do it.
That about does it for this random travel, so I'll be heading out. But what do you know? It's twin centuries. They even had the same sandwich. Whoa, they disappeared! My eyes must be tired. They're playing tricks on me. If you like this video, even just a little bit, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. Please feel free to leave a comment. And finally, please subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you'll know when there's new random travels available for your viewing pleasure. Hello, figment of my imagination, Sasquatch. I see you.